It's home to America's best public university and several world-class greenways. But getting around town can feel unsafe due to an incomplete bike network. It's the Greenway with Mac, and today I'm showing you how to bridge the gap between two of Berkeley's greenways. The 2-mile ride begins at the 9th Street Greenway, just north of Ashby Avenue in the southwest corner of Berkeley. We will go north for 9 blocks before making a right on Alston Way. Then we will continue 8 more blocks to Strawberry Creek Park, where we will join the West Street Greenway for the final stretch to Crystal Red Park and the Ohlone Greenway. To the right is a bilingual school, and on the other side of the street is an international Montessori school. With the 9th Street and Emeryville Greenways only a block away, you would think these schools would demand a block of protected bike lanes for their students and teachers. Generally, there is not much traffic on 9th Street, but occasionally you'll find yourself in front of an impatient driver like this one. 2 blocks to the right is Berkeley's Rad Power e-bike store. My daily commute is on a Rad Runner Plus, and the service center has been awesome anytime I've needed service and maintenance. There are a lot of direct-to-consumer e-bikes you can find online, so what sets Rad Power apart is the fact that you can take test rides here and get help from experts who know everything about this specific bike. Take Grayson, or this one, Hardy, to get there, as it is on this block on this side of San Pablo. Since San Pablo is so awful for people on bikes, 9th Street is the recommended route for moving north and south in this part of Berkeley. We are on what they call a bicycle boulevard, which is just a fancy way of saying a street with sharrows. Most of this trip is on the street and on a designated bicycle boulevard. Look for these purple signs to indicate that you are on it. This map shows the network of bicycle boulevards in Berkeley. Like Emeryville, these same streets are the likely first targets to get infrastructure improvements, including here on 9th Street. Hopefully 9th Street up to Albany will be removed from this list. That's because this route is part of the parallel bikeways that will start being upgraded as soon as 2025. Bike East Bay's Green Mobility Ambassador project will be operating a pop-up demonstration project there soon to try out both a temporary cycle track configuration as well as a traffic-calmed shared lane configuration for people to try out and inform future opportunities. As a former rail corridor, there is actually enough space for travel lanes, car parking, and a cycle track. Until these upgrades are made, this route does not pass the 880 test. Channing Way and Virginia Street are bicycle boulevards, and I recently observed some green paint and a few other small improvements that were a little better than sharrows. Currently, there are a few pieces of infrastructure that improve the safety here. These barriers in the middle of the intersection slow vehicles and should prevent unsafe left turns into bikers. They should also prevent drivers from running straight through the stop signs, whether intentional or not. While there is not a lot of new infrastructure in Berkeley on this ride, there is one project near the university that is near completion. The Southside Complete Streets project is located at UC Berkeley's southern border. One of 3 newly protected bike lanes runs along Bancroft Way from Memorial Stadium till Milvia Street, which is where Berkeley High School is located. 2 other quarter-mile sections are perpendicular to this route on Fulton and Dana Streets. The Greek Theater is near Memorial Stadium, so these concrete-protected connections make it safer for a variety of events on the campus's east side. Projects like these are a great start, but there is still so much to be done. Organizations like Bike East Bay and Walk Bike Berkeley deserve credit for their advocacy to build safer and complete streets. Give both a follow on social media, join their newsletters, and send them a few bucks to support their efforts. I mentioned Strawberry Creek Park in my video about the Ohlone Greenway, and I had never been there, so I did not realize what a great neighborhood park it is. There are some great amenities for all ages, and it connects to the West Street Greenway. Since the West Street Greenway connects to the Ohlone Greenway, this means you have a delightful, safe off-street trail nearly all the way to Richmond to the north and downtown Berkeley to the east. My video about the Ohlone Greenway will pop up at the end of this one. In doing the research and finding a route to Strawberry Creek Park, I learned that the city was recently awarded a $5 million grant to convert a quarter-mile stretch of the old Santa Fe rail corridor into park space, amenities, and off-street trails. That greenway will be an additional connection to Strawberry Creek Park. This is the section right here, and you can see that when it is finished, it could work as an alternative version to ride to Strawberry Creek Park from Rad Power bikes. Construction was expected to start soon, but contamination levels in the soil were still high, so it has set back the timeline. Hopefully they can finish that remediation work without much further delay. People for Bikes has Berkeley ranked as the second best city for biking in California, only behind Davis. Here's the network map, which is a key component of this score, but another factor is the amount of state and local funding for bikes. In 2014, voters approved a half-cent sales tax, which is expected to raise $651 million for active transportation. This is a great sign that things are improving, but biking in Berkeley mostly looks like this route, so it really shows how far the state of California needs to go if this is second best. We have arrived at Strawberry Creek Park, which means we are on trails for the final mile or so of the journey. To the right are a range of courts, including tennis, volleyball, futsal, and basketball. We are headed left and will pass a playground, a large sand area, picnic areas, and there are some restrooms. Strawberry Creek Park is the site of the former Santa Fe rail yard, a vast concrete slab. In the 1980s, it was broken up as one of, if not the, first creek daylighting projects in the country. Pieces of the rail yard concrete were used to line the sides of the creek embankments. I'm the biggest fan of passenger rail, and I wish it was more abundant in our cities. But I have to say that when the lines are abandoned, converting these rights of way and rail yards to parks and trails is by far the next best thing. This was a Friday in the summer and the park was packed. This is an absolute gem of a green space for locals. I love that there is this little cafe right here at the park. Cafes at the park are ubiquitous in Spain, but seem to be rare in neighborhood parks in America. I've said it before, and I'll repeat it here. Cafes should be permitted in parks to improve their utility as third spaces. Jump in the street for just a half a block and then cross here to join the West Street Pathway. This neighborhood trail was completed in 2 phases. The section we are on was part of Phase 2 and was possible due to an easement from the Berkeley School, which is to our right. They initially had concerns about the trail bringing crime to the area, but judging by our experience, this path appears safe and it closed a vital car-free connection to the park and school. I personally think more drivers coming to the park and school is riskier than any potential crime. The West Street Pathway was in Berkeley's original bike plan from the 70s, which was also part of the Santa Fe rail corridor. It wasn't until 2002 that the city approved a plan for the conversion, and a Caltrans grant in 2004 got the project going. A second grant in 2009 was enough to complete the project, and after navigating the concerns of local residents and school officials, the path was finally completed. The West Street Pathway is a half-mile long and covers 7 blocks. When researching these trails, I stumbled across a website called Berkeley Paths. The site lists dozens of short paths that are on public property, but did not previously have safe public access. They have a list of undeveloped path segments and try to create access to 1 or 2 per year. Many of these improvements are adding stairways, so it's especially helpful for neighborhood walks. I have a link to their website below. The Ohlone Greenway connects directly to the North Berkeley BART station, but you can also turn right here on Delaware Street and go 2 blocks to get there. The station is still a huge, largely vacant parking crater, but transit-oriented development projects are still navigating the approval process. The current plan is to replace 500 parking spots with 750 desperately needed homes. The success of BART and stations like North Berkeley depend on housing near BART, but also riders who can arrive by bike and transit. The city of Berkeley really needs to step it up and add dozens more miles of protected bike lanes that run to their BART stations, and Delaware Street looks like a prime candidate for that treatment because it's on the city's Bicycle Boulevard Network map. Once again, I want to thank Robert Prince for all the great information he shared with me about biking in this area. He's a great follow on Twitter if you like to stay on top of the latest bike and pedestrian improvements in the East Bay. This is the final leg of the Greenway leading to Crystal Red Park and the connection to the Ohlone Greenway. Once here, you are plugged into dozens of miles of off-street greenways, so enjoy the journey as you explore Berkeley and beyond. Thanks for tagging along. I'll see you on the next Greenway.